This is the morning show here on Signature TV. It's halfway into the month of May 2025. That's the 15th, by the way, just in case you're wondering. So we'll be talking about maternal and child health, the relationship between mother and child. And we have a guest with us in the studio this morning, Lolo Augustina UGWUANYI. She's the Deputy Director, Nursing Services Coordinator, Safe Motherhood. Good to have you. Thank you for joining us. Good morning.
Thank you so much. Good morning.
How do you do?
Thank you.
How important is maternal health?
Important. Maternal health is as important as food. Because without maternal health, in most homes, food will not even come to the table.
Interesting.
And without maternal health, there will be no recreation. As you can find in many developed countries where people are now shading away from bearing children because of the burden involved, you find out that our population is going down. So maternal health is very, very important and should actually be given utmost concern.
How does the maternal health before pregnancy affect the childbirth?
Okay. Maternal child before pregnancy affects the unborn baby or the baby yet to be conceived, because the baby is going to be housed inside a human being, and that human being is the mother. And if the internal environment of that mother is not conducive, it will affect the baby from conception. That is why you find a lot of congenital abnormalities. When the environment is not conducive for the baby, it can lead to the baby not developing as it should. It can develop with one part of the body or the other absent or deformed. So it is very necessary that that a woman will prepare for conception before it takes in, because that preparation is in terms of feeding, that the woman will not be malnourished, it will not be anemic, it will have enough blood, because it's going to feed herself and the baby. So in terms of the drugs she's taking, if she's taking anything that is hard, like hard drugs, like high alcoholic content, like cigarettes, it is that time that the woman is planning to conceive, that she will drop all those habits to prepare herself. The mother's health also, in terms of the environment she is, ideally, a woman should also, as is now planning to take in, to restructure her house to receive an additional person into the house, because that baby, when it comes, is already a normal full-fledged human being that will now go through different developmental stages. So a mother's health is very important to be prepared very well before she takes in. So she can as well start to take drugs, hematinics, to beef up her blood, her hematinics level. So it's very necessary.
Right. But how important again is maternal health for the knowledge of it for the woman? Because sometimes most women don't know what is coming when they're taking. So you see them in a situation where they're taking, they tend to change a little bit. Even their hormones does a little bit of movement around them. Their mood tends to swing more often. There are certain behaviors that, you would hear men say, like, she asked for something awkward, and asking for it in an odd time of the day, How important for the knowledge of the woman himself or herself, and again the knowledge of this kinds of behavior and character and her health generally, for the women and for the man.
The knowledge is very necessary, because we have what is called nature nurture relationship. The nature is what we are talking about. What the hormonal level, change of hormonal levels, will like how is going to affect the woman. It's very necessary that every family should understand that such things happen. Nature has made it that for a woman to conceive, there are changes in her hormonal level, and these changes is what will now make her to be able to release the ovum that will be fertilized. So, and this hormonal level has a sort of mood swing on this woman. If once the woman takes in, there will be this piker that you talked about that is craving for unusual things. It can now decide to, when she prepares, she cannot, when she prepares food, she cannot eat it. She doesn't have appetite for it. But something that is prepared for, by some other person that is not even attractive or that is not even sweet, she will be craving for it as if it is good. So the woman needs to actually have an idea of the hormonal changes. You also have to know that this baby is going to be inside her. This baby is not dead. This baby is alive. And this baby will be having movements. Initially, when a woman, especially a primate, when you take in, you think that it is warm. That this type of worm infestation is so much. It's always disturbing me, making noise. And you keep on taking the warming tablet without knowing that it's not warm. So you has to know that a life human being is going to come into him, and this life human being is going to exhibit all the signs of a life in him or her. Is going to start moving. Is going to start eating, though not orally, but through the placenta, from the placenta through the cord to the baby. So because of this extra attachment now, this is a normal human being, and this, it would have been good that we even show it for people to see what is inside like a woman, the structure, this how God arranged it, and that everything, the air that the baby will eat, they will take, the food, the nutrients that the baby will take, all will be coming from this placenta through the cord to this baby. The woman need to know, because many times women will say, I don't feel like eating. It's no more like you don't feel like eating. You now have to eat because it's not only you, some other person is inside you and will need that nutrient. So it's also necessary for the woman to have knowledge that her temperament will also affect that unborn baby. The man too has to understand that her wife's temperament will affect his baby, because many times a man may like the baby and has issues with the woman. Because of that pregnancy, every expectant man should also have concern for the woman. He will give her extra attention. He will ensure that she's happy. When she's happy, the baby inside her will be happy. And when she's not happy, it also affects the mood of the baby. And there is this natural link between the woman and that unborn baby. It starts from inside the uterus and continues after delivery. Because there's something that nobody teaches a baby. Once a baby is delivered, he has learned how to attach his mouth or her mouth to the nipple of the mother. This is what is called the nature aspect of a relationship between mother and baby. Then also, there's this nurture. The nurture is now the role that the woman will give to this baby, has to pay to this baby, have to give to this baby once from delivery till the baby matures, to be able to take care of him or herself. So, number one, let's even look at communication. We have said that while a baby is inside her mother's, that they already have a sort of relationship, and this relationship involves even communication. But at that time, it is non-verbal communication. This non-verbal communication, a baby can now, for one thing or the other, just become rascal, begin to shake legs and foot like this. And when the mother says, stay quiet, you know that the baby hears it and stays quiet. I am telling you, it's real.
Some will say that sometimes it's not possible if it's a boy. If it's a boy, it kicks faster and heavier.
If it's a boy, he will also listen, but maybe the time he returns to his activity will be faster than that of the girl. But as for listening, he will listen to what the mother has told him. So that communication, and when the baby delivers, I love this one. You see the woman is gazing at the baby. And the baby also is looking at the mother. So that is the communication. The baby has not learned how to talk. There's this eye contact. They are exchanging love. And that is why even the government of Nigeria is interested in seeing that exclusive breastfeeding is made compulsory across the nation. Because if a baby grows with love, he will be able to show love. And this is the first. You will see different positions that women and their children take. For the convenience, in most cases, for the convenience of the baby.
Right.
So this is where nurture comes in. In nurture, that communication is essential. They say even when the baby has not learned to speak, you keep on communicating. You tell him what you want to do to him. You tell him or her. He is hearing, but he cannot reply at that point. So the more you are communicating positively, you are teaching. In fact, science say that a man or a woman is well made by the age of 5. So everything you have to be a normal human being to operate maximally is already made. So, and they start from that point of delivery. So communication is very necessary. And every mother should know of this communication and communicate positively.
Absolutely.
You don't start to nag at the baby. You don't start to use foul words on the baby. It's not necessary. Instead, you keep on communicating love, positive things. In fact, a woman say when she delivers, she will prophesy unto the baby what she wants her to be. And in many cases, it works.
It works, yeah.
So communication is very
important.
Interpersonal relationship between mother and child. Then we also talk of.
Well, what are the most? Before we get into physical care, what are the most basic complications that mothers have during childbirth, and how do you think that can be mitigated against?
Okay, is it during delivery?
During childbirth generally. Childbirth also starts from being going to have antenatal and then postnatal at the case maybe. So what are the most complications from your experience that you see that mothers have, and how do you think it can be mitigated against?
Okay, let me start from the financial aspect.
Okay.
Financial aspect, as you're expecting a baby, you're supposed to make provision for her. Add her into your
bills expenses.
Bills.
So are you saying that most people don't do that?
Many don't.
Oh, really?
Many don't. So some find it difficult even to attend antenatal. Some find it difficult to buy what the baby will need and what herself will, because there are extra things you need during delivery. They find it difficult also to buy the basic requirements that hospital needs, because now with the advent of HIV, the delivery is there are things you must use by yourself. You will not share with anybody, just to make sure that you don't get an infection or transfer an infection.
Okay, sure.
Do you understand? So that is financial aspect of it. So there has to be provision. And also, labor, when somebody is pregnant, there are two ways. It can end in normal delivery, what they call spontaneous vaginal delivery. It can also end in cesarean section. So, because you don't know which one, it's good to prepare your mind and receive whichever one, because both of them are methods of delivery. All we need is a live baby and a live mother.
But I have people who have said that if you don't deliver in the normal vaginal way of delivery, that you are not a Hebrew woman. And I don't know. This always comes from the Christian point of view. I'm not sure. I'm sure you must have heard that too.
I know that people prefer to deliver through the vagina. That is more natural. It is more natural. But there are exceptions where this vaginal delivery cannot take place. And because God has made man and given men the knowledge.
Yeah.
With the knowledge of man, man has been able to say when this vaginal delivery cannot take place, we have an option. That option is cesarean section. And every woman, be it a Christian or a Muslim, should accept it. You should accept if your pregnancy, if your healthcare provider tells you that this pregnancy that is suggesting cesarean section, for this reason, for the other reason. This it could be that your pelvis is too small for the size of your baby. Maybe if the baby is 2.5, it can pass through. But now your baby is 3.5, it cannot. You just have to accept it. Or that the baby, instead of the baby is supposed to come out longitudinally, it is cephalic with the head preferably. But in some cases, the baby can also come with the legs or with the buttocks. When the healthcare provider looks at the size of the baby, that the baby can come out with the foot or with the buttocks, the woman can attempt vaginal delivery. But if the baby is too big, to maneuver, because this footling or breech needs some maneuvering. If the baby is, the size of the baby is too big to be maneuvered, the woman will go for cesarean section. If the baby is sort of, instead of being that longitudinal, we are talking about the baby is transverse, there's no way the baby can come out. So the woman just have to accept cesarean section. Other condition could be the health of the condition of the baby or the condition of the mother. If the mother is in distress, even if you say push, she can no longer push. The alternative is to bring out the alive baby and resuscitate her. If the baby also is in distress, that he cannot pass through the rigors of delivery alive, especially men. Men are more fragile when it comes to delivery. Once they are weak like that, it's easier to deliver to the cesarean section. So these are the some of the conditions that a woman just will have to accept a cesarean section. So there's no Hebrew women attached to it. You just have to accept it as the alternative option.
Right. Well, you were talking about physical health for the child, for the woman as well.
Okay. And when you talk about physical, we're not talking about the care that the woman will give to this baby. Here. Provision of warmth.
Warmth.
Yes. You know when the baby is inside the womb, it's not having any direct contact with the air or the sun or the water, external water. So the internal environment is humid, very warm and very conducive for the baby. So when the baby is delivered, in fact, it is the version of the weather that makes the baby to cry out immediately. That sudden change will just make the baby to cry out, and though the cry out also helps to open up the lungs for the baby to bring in. But the initial thing that makes him to cry is not that breath per se, is the weather, the sudden change of weather. So the woman has to give the baby warmth. It's part of the preparation. He has to have a blanket. She can have wrappers that she can pick from. She has to have different clothing. Baby will wear singlet inside and also wear overall for that period, just to make sure that the environment is close to what he was experiencing inside. Excuse me. So the baby also, the mother will also feed the child. It's part of the physical activity. You need to feed the baby. For exclusive breastfeeding, you don't have to say, baby was breastfed by 4, so you will take again, maybe by 6 or by 8. It's not like that for exclusive breastfeeding. Exclusive breastfeeding is feeding on demand. Because the baby knows when he's hungry. He cannot say, I am hungry, but he can cry. So that is why when a baby starts to cry, even if he has just been fed, you check her diapers to ensure that the baby is not wet. The next thing is you put the baby to breast to suckle. So you keep on feeding this baby on demand. And any baby that is fed on demand, you see the baby, the development, the milestone. He will be growing as is expected of his age. So other things you can give to this baby is, we have talked about clothing, feeding, then protection. Protection. You need to protect him or her from danger. He doesn't have the power to say, if I turn this way, I fall from the bed. No, it doesn't reason that way. In fact, as they're growing, they will even want to go and pick that thing on the floor without knowing that there is a distance before they go to the floor. So protection of the baby is on the needs of the mother. You just have to protect him from danger, protect him from force, protect him from accident, protect him from anything that can be hazardous.
How important is postpartum for both mother and child?
Postpartum. Postpartum care is very important for both of them. Why? You know, the Igbo people say when a woman is pregnant, is on the hill or is on a height. It's on a height because there is a lot of changes in her. There's a lot of, in fact, at a time when the baby matures, the woman will even find it difficult to be taking reasonable quantity because the baby is occupying her whole internal environment. You know, the uterus will also, as the baby matures, it will also occupy space that the stomach is supposed to occupy and the intestine. So the woman will now be taking small rations of food at a time. So, but when the woman delivers, you need to eat well to recuperate. That is, come back to normal, into her normal self. You also need to eat well for her to lactate. You know, breast milk is there, but the quantity now depends on the nutritional status of the mother. If the mother is well fed and is taking a lot of food, the woman will be producing enough quantity of breast milk. So that period of postpartum care will help her to eat well, to rest. For any internal injury, you know, there are small bruises that she also has, even if she didn't go through episiotomy or cesarean section. There are also these bruises that this woman can have. That's the period that she developed. And feeding well, that's the period that a man can also show his muscle, I can feed you. So the woman takes highly nutritious meals designed for her. So that will make her to come. If you see a woman that is really taken care of during the postpartum, you will not ask questions because she will be glittering. So, and at the same time, too, the baby also enjoys it. The office has given her the time to take care of her baby. That's why if you're a civil servant, you take your maternity leave just to take care of the baby. So that's the immediate period. If the woman is not going out, it's staying with the baby 24/7. And even if you're a trader, the customer also expects you to stay in with your baby to some extent before you can go out. So it is a period that this bonding we're talking about will actually be established. Another person can only carry this baby periodically, like this joy of a newborn. Somebody can come, you want to carry your baby, but that's very temporal. The woman is carrying her baby, is taking direct care. The baby is sleeping. The grandmother will only help to put the baby on the bed. So there is this bonding. That's when it is highest.
Right.
And that's postpartum period.
Fantastic. I mean, this is really revealing. I wish you have more time to expand on all of this, but you have touched on most part of it. I want to say a very big thank you, Lola Augustina and Ngozi UGWUANYI. Thank you so much for your time on the program.
Thank you so much, and thank you, our audience. Thank you for listening, and I wish that our men will also hear and improve on the care they give to these women.
At that time, of course. At that time, very important. Many thanks again. We truly appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Save Nature TV. News in your pocket.